What's going on, Flix Talkers? We are back with another video. I got my guy Q Reviews, who I love bringing into the mix when we talk about horror movies specifically. So if you guys missed any of our episodes, our past episodes, check them out. I'll leave them down in the description below so you guys know what this is about. We like to talk about some horror news, recent horror news, and our topic of the day, which is Sinners. And we're going to be talking about complete spoiler review, basically, and just our thoughts in general. And then possibly some future projects. Well, it is confirmed. Future projects from Mr. Ryan Coogler. So before we get into it, guys, please hit that big thumbs up. Consider subscribing today. I'm going to leave all of Q Reviews links down in the description below because I want you guys to subscribe to his channel. He has a lot of great out of theater reaction takes, and they're great. And hood reviews, right?
Yeah, hood reviews.
Explain to the people what a hood review is in case they don't know who you are and which.
Yeah. Thanks, of course, for having me again, Dave. You know what I'm saying? It's always a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? We talking horror. That's what we do. That's what we do best. But hood reviews. I did a couple. I did one for Creepshow 2. Thanks for the ride, lady. And I did one for Fright Night. It's just me being myself, just being a fool, and just kind of urban review, I guess.
It's from your perspective. Yeah, it's from your perspective.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah. I mean, the Thanks for the Ride Lady is always was always one of my favorites from Creepshow 2. And a lot of people they don't really talk about Creepshow 2, but I remember it being like because the raft was like one of my favorite ones.
Yeah.
I do love the first one, but for some reason I think it was just more memorable, the second one. But I mean,
yep.
And then Creepshow 3, what happened?
Yeah, it's a Creepshow 3. That's
there
like
is.
a Creepshow like 3 that I don't even remember watching it all. It was so bad. But Creepshow 3 was supposed to be Tales from the Dark Side, but they lost something, got weird with the rights or something like that. So Creepshow 3 ended up being Tales from the Dark Side. I don't know if you remember that movie.
Now, I don't know if you would believe me. I have never seen Tales from the Dark Side, the show or the movie.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, that was like that was in the 80s. That was when that was really popular. Like early to mid 80s.
Was that more niche, you think? Like, because I just recently saw the Twilight Zone movie, and I know that was like the biggest thing around, but I feel like Tales from the Dark Side was kind of just like shimmied in there, maybe with like Tales from the Crypt and like, all these things were popping off around that time.
Yeah. It came on network television. So it came on like a UHF station, and it had the scariest intro to them all. It was just like, man lives in the sunlit world on what he believes to be reality. And then it gets to, I'm not gonna go into the whole thing, but it was like really creepy. And they had some good episodes. I think it just got overshadowed by Tales from the Crypt and Twilight Zone and things like that. It was another anthology show called Monsters too. It was called Monsters. It was kind of like Tales from the Dark Side, but Savini worked on a couple episodes and directed some of Tales from the Dark Side. They had some good ones here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the same formula, same recipe as far as like different directors for each episode.
Yeah, I don't know if they were all famous. Like, remember that, what was it, Masters of Horror that came out? Shoot, that was about 20 years ago now. And they had all the best directors, direct them. This was just like, any directors. Tom Savini just happened to be one of the special directors on there, though.
He's good as a director, man. He's one of those guys that like jump from the special effects to, and then now we have what's his name, Damien Leone, I mean, who does special effects, and now he's directing like one of the most talked about characters in horror franchise in such a long time. We are here, guys, so we're just gonna be kind of letting our thoughts spill out. If you guys do like what you see, please hit that big thumbs up. Once again, this is kind of what we do. We're gonna start doing it more often because I am going back to the theaters. We talked about it offline, is that I kind of renewed my AMC subscription specifically to watch Sinners in IMAX. You saw it in IMAX, and we're going to talk about, is that the best way to see it, or man, I was telling you too that in LA they're doing special screenings of the 70 millimeter wide scope.
You're lucky. Yeah, you're lucky. We used to have one here. It was Henry Ford's Greenfield Village, and that's where I seen like the real 70 millimeter Interstellar and The Dark Knight, you know what I'm saying, and like that. But they stopped playing commercial movies and just started playing like kids movies and shit. I was like, damn.
Oh man.
That's unfortunate.
I was trying to get lucky, man, and get some tickets, but they all sold out, if you could believe that.
Mhm,
I mean, I believe
mhm.
it. I mean,
That's
there
special, yeah.
yeah, there is a diehard fandom, and there's a when a good horror movie comes out, the horror cave dwellers will just fucking creep out from their caves, and they'll sunlight, and then they'll
Mm,
start looking.
sinners.
Yeah, those are sinners. We got a good one over here, and it only happens every so often, man. Because we don't get these bangers every year. We don't. We really don't. We get like
Mhm.
damn Megan. We get damn Annabelle movies thrown in there,
Abigail.
Abigail, and yeah, you
Yeah,
talked about it on your
yeah.
review.
Mhm,
Um,
mhm,
but we'll talk about it in a second. But like I said, let's get into some recent news, guys. And I'm going to start off with this story. I want to hear your thoughts on this, man. So Ryan Coogler confirms X-Files reboot for his next project. Now, I know you heard of this, right? Because he was talking about this back in
mhm,
2023, I believe, off the last Black Panther film. He was kind of just like rumored and talking about it a little bit. But now it's confirmed that the X-Files reboot is still happening. Not only that, it's happening immediately after Sinners, which just came out. So that's his. Once he's off the press junket, he's jumping back in the producer seat or director seat. Now, what do you think about this? What do you think about X Files? Were you an X Files fan growing up?
You know what? I seen multiple episodes. I wasn't a huge. I thought it was dope, though. You know what I'm saying? I just never got that deep into it. I seen a few episodes that were really good, though.
Yeah,
What's interesting is Ryan Coogler jumping. Is this going to be a movie or a series?
I believe they're talking about it's going to be a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That'd
I
be
don't know.
dope.
I don't know if it says anything about a series. Oh, I'm sorry. It is. It is a series. Sorry about that. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Nice. Directed by Ryan Coogler. We're like a probably maybe a
it says
couple
directed.
episodes and damn,
It
damn,
says
he gonna direct
directed. Yeah.
everyone. Damn,
Oh well.
that'd be wow.
So it says he appeared on a recent episode of Last Podcast on the Left. The director said he was fired up to get to work on the series once he's done promoting his new vampire movie Sinners. He said, "I'm working on X Files. That's immediately next. So I've been
Mm,
excited for a long time, and I'm fired up to get back to it. And that some of those episodes, if we do our jobs right, will be really fucking scary." That's what he said. So maybe
mm,
he's not fully directing it, but he's. It sounds like he's definitely involved behind the scenes. Maybe like how Michael B. Jordan. I'm sorry. Uh, Jordan
Jordan
Peele.
Peele
God damn
behind
it.
him.
Jordan
Yeah, yep,
Peele was
yep,
behind the Twilight Zone shit. Remember, he was like producing that
yep,
or something.
yep.
Maybe they'll
I
go
remember
that.
exactly.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard not the greatest things. I heard it was kind of just whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll just leave it at that. Coogler has also confirmed he has spoken to Gillian Anderson about returning to this project. He just said, "Fingers crossed that
Mm,
she's going to return as Agent Dana Scully." What do you think about that?
mm. Damn, that's kind of dope. You know what I'm saying? At least that Creed. Well, if anybody can bring a franchise back, we know Coogler can do it. You know, like what he did with Creed, and then
Yeah.
he like Mulder could be like his Sylvester Stallone character to kind of what I'm saying, rebirth this thing into whatever is coming next. So I think Coogler could do a damn good job. But what's funny to me is Coogler and Jordan Peele kind of on same trajectories right now. You know what I'm saying? Both black super horror directors now. You know what I'm saying? I know they can do other stuff.
Yeah.
Are they gonna fight? Are they gonna
Yeah.
fight? You know, for the fight to the
Battle for the black directors.
death.
No.
Back horror directors, go.
I think that's fantastic. And you know what? That you said that, that was automatically what I thought. Cause I was like, okay, maybe Sinners is going to be a one off, but he did it so well. And I think the reception is just, we're going to talk about it in a second. That
Hmm.
the fact that I read this, I'm like, this doesn't surprise me now. Now he's caught the horror bug, or at least the sci-fi creepiness bug, because X Files is usually around stories that are just sci-fi and just creepy
Hmm.
all around. I'm the same with you. I grew up with X Files, but I didn't watch every single episode like weekly. I just kind of caught
Hmm.
whatever I caught, whenever I could. And
Hmm.
I think he could put his twist on it. I thought it was gonna be a movie because I know they made a movie back in the was it
Hmm.
early
Yep.
2000s or late 90s
Yep.
maybe? I think it might have been late 90s.
Yep. I remember.
And
Yep.
I think they even made a sequel. Didn't they make a sequel? Or am I tripping?
I don't. Yeah, I remember the first one being kind of the big thing. They might have made a sequel though too. Yeah, yeah, this is a good one to
Yeah.
look up. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure. I think I've seen the first one. I don't
Okay.
remember very much about it, but yeah,
So
yeah,
I was
yeah.
all into it because I mean, obviously that theme song was crazy, right? The doom,
Mhm.
doo-doo-doo. It was a really
Yeah,
good
that was
theme
dope.
song. very
Yeah.
memorable,
Really
and
good.
I like the
Mhm.
casting of Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
that being said, oh, well, that's what I was gonna say, is that, yeah, the black directors dipping into horror, I think is fantastic. It's gonna be a normalized thing. I really hope it is, 'cause so they can stop saying like, "Oh, like we have this amazing black director, Jordan Peele. We have this amazing black director, Ryan Coogler." Dude, at
Mhm.
this point, they're just directors. Like, and I think they
Mhm.
can. I want them to just get shimmied into great directors. And the only way you
Yeah,
do
they
that,
are.
yeah, the only way
Yeah.
you do that is keep putting out these banger projects, because I felt like Jordan Peele was kind of like backsliding a little bit by focusing on all the X Files. Fuck all that shit, dude. Just go back to the movies, dog. Like, fuck the TV projects.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what I kind of felt like.
Yes.
Like, I felt like Jordan Peele was like this, like taking off, and then he started
Mhm.
attaching his name to, or which a new trailer we just saw to him, which is fine.
Mhm.
I don't think he's not even
Mhm.
fully directing that movie. He's just producing. So I'm like,
No. Yeah.
chill
He's
out with the
producing.
produce. Get back to the
Yeah.
directing. We need you in the
Yeah.
director's seat, and we need you
Absolutely.
to
Absolutely.
fully come at that. This is all my opinion, by the way. I'm not speaking for Q, guys. So I'm just saying.
Oh,
I
I'm
think
agreeing.
I think he was full trajectory, like he was to the moon, man, with these 3 movies that he came out with. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, needs to take a maybe he needs to take a break or just expand it." Yeah, but the thing is, if those projects fail, his name is attached to it. That's the whole point. No one's gonna remember
Mhm.
Marlon Wayans and him or whatever. They're gonna say this was a failed Jordan Peele project, even if he's just
Mhm.
producing, because that's what people do. They see the big names and they look at the scores, right?
Mhm.
Thankfully, the Ryan Coogler movie got crazy praise. It came out with 100% and stuff like that. I want to see him on an upward trajectory, because some of my favorite directors like Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, Quentin Tarantino, all these guys for the most part had hits, right? And
Oh yeah.
that's what people balance their catalog over the hits. Of course you're going to have misses, but they're going to judge you and they're going to see which ones balance out, which ones are more favorable, which ones people are going to remember. And I think Ryan Coogler, hey man, crucify me. I think Ryan Coogler is outshining fucking Jordan Peele's catalog right now. That's just me. That's just me.
Ooh.
I know Jordan Peele only has like 3 movies. That's fine.
Mhm.
But and I know
Yeah.
Coogler has more stuff like that. But even since like Fruitvale Station, I knew this motherfucker was amazing, dude. Like I knew this
Yeah.
guy was gonna kill it. So
Mhm.
he's proving me right. And I think
Mhm.
him choosing the right scripts, X Files, I would choose over Twilight Zone any day. I'm sorry. That's just
Mhm.
for a reboot. Like if you are gonna dip your toes into this, I would choose X Files over Twilight Zone. That's just me. And I know a lot of
Mhm.
people were like, "Well, Black Mirror's popular. I think Twilight Zone will work." Yeah, but X Files is very similar. I think X Files is a little more creepier than Twilight Zone
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
They definitely got like with the aliens and creatures and stuff like that more in
yeah,
that files. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm a fan of anthologies. I mean, you know that you're a fan of anthologies and stuff like that, or
Mhm.
anthology series and Tales from the Crypt and all these things where it's like different episodes every week. I think
Yeah.
they could do something great with X Files, man. I really think they could. And I'm liking
Mhm.
the way Ryan Coogler is going. But like I said, going back to the normalization of black directors or even black producers, I want that to be a normal thing. I don't I think people like to congratulate that, which they should. They should obviously give people their flowers, right? But once it
Mhm.
becomes a
Yeah.
normal thing, then people won't
Mhm.
talk about it. They'll just judge them on their greatness
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah,
being a
absolutely.
director,
But
of being a director, you know?
w- yeah, yeah, but so we don't see that a lot though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, oh well,
Exactly.
yeah, like like we don't see. Is it like I said in my review? It's only two black filmmakers who were ever shot on 70 millimeter, and that's Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler. And and of course Nolan and then
Nolan and all,
a
yeah, yeah.
couple older, all those guys. So it's like, wow, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dude took a original IP and put it on IMAX, bro. Jordan Peele and Ryan Coogler. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming, I think it is becoming more of a norm because, you know what I'm saying? Warner Brothers, you know what I'm saying? They're trusting them to come up with their own ideas and their own vision and putting it on a big screen. And that's huge because if we go back to 1995 or 4, they weren't letting us do those type movies of black people. You know what I'm saying? We had to do the hood movie and shit. Like, well, does it have gangsters and drive-bys in it? Like, no, it's about this horror thing. They wouldn't give us chances like that until we kind, what I'm saying, till we kind of made our own chances. But
And
now
the
it's
people
even better. Hmm.
sorry to cut you off. And the people
Oh
that
no.
we're doing horror films centered around black characters, like a Candyman, like a People Under the Stairs, they weren't even black
Hmm.
directors. They were white guys.
Hmm.
You know, Wes
Hmm.
Craven, fucking
Hmm. That's cool.
John Carpenter. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
these are people that were doing these stories. They weren't even black directors. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So
Yeah.
it really makes you
Hmm.
think like people were doing those movies, but it wasn't a normalized thing, and there was no black people in the behind the cameras at all whatsoever
Hmm.
back in those days. You know, or I'm
Hmm.
sure there was, but you rarely heard about it in the public eye. And what I guess what I'm
Hmm.
trying to get to, my point was that I don't want it to be a headline of black director is successful. I just want it to
Yeah, I hear
be
you.
director is successful because
Yeah.
people, especially nowadays, it add race to so many different aspects of life. We go to the movies to escape fucking reality.
Hmm.
To make that and diminish it and make it a headline, I think is wrong. But we know that people are going to make it a headline,
Hmm.
especially if it's a failed project. Then people want to blame it
Hmm.
on it's because of this project's woke or some bullshit or some kind of DEI
Hmm.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They want to make it a talking point to diminish this person's creativity.
Hmm.
And I think
Yeah.
when you get more creative minds that are willing to take a chance on something like a Sinners, like we'll get into, it's
Hmm.
gonna outshine all of that. It's gonna put all that to
Hmm.
rest. It's gonna shut all these
Hmm.
people up. Hopefully, that's
Hmm.
that's 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 the world that I wanna live in is where you just judge a movie for a movie, bro.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
You
hear you.
know?
I hear you. You make a great point. You make a great point. But what I'm saying? We already know that Ryan Coogler is dope. Just no matter what color he is. We know Jordan Peele is dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they happen to be black, cool. You know what I'm saying? I can relate. It's inspiring, and I
Yeah.
get it. And I do want to give them the flowers, but I do feel you. But now they're in the, what I'm saying? They're in a league of their own. Like Ryan Coogler and Christopher Nolan, he coming on that type of caliber. He building to be on that type of caliber. Like, yeah, I'm just using a new director like Christopher Nolan. He heading towards that. It's not even he only got like 4 movies, but he's heading towards that great catalog where it's just fucking Ryan Coogler. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. It ain't black Ryan Coogler or from black director Jordan Peele comes this new thing. And the dope thing about those two directors, they both do original concepts. And they're not,
Exactly.
what I'm saying, except for, Coogler got Creed and Black Panther, sure. But like, especially this one, this is Ryan Coogler's first his own thing and shit. Jordan Peele
Yeah.
came out the gate with 3 original IPs. So like, and they're what I'm saying they're giving them a chance to do it. So I think they're heading to that level, man. I think we're really close to from us not separating them from being low, like the race car thing though too. But I do like black directors, what I'm saying, doing these type of stories because I don't know if Hollywood would have made a movie like Sinners. You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Mhm.
they would have went down there how
I don't
Coogler
think
went
so.
down there. You know what I'm saying? Because of his heritage. You know what I'm saying? Because he said he wrote his movie based on his uncle because he loved the blues and he took it all back and brought it all back. You know what I'm saying? That takes
Yeah.
culture and lineage. So like to see that on screen, it's
Absolutely.
just like I haven't seen no shit like that before. So I love
Trust
it.
me. Yeah, trust me. My mom, she's an author and she's she writes things from like the Hispanic perspective and stuff like that. And she talks
Hmm.
to me all the time. I love to get her take on things because she
Hmm.
does feel like it's important for people that have gone through this or people that are part of that community to tell these stories. And I told her, I said, I totally agree, especially now more than ever.
Hmm.
But it's really hard because like I'll watch a movie like The Color Purple and I think it's a fantastic movie. You find out that movie was made by a white guy, Steven Spielberg. And it's like,
Hmm.
well, how can I say that I want this, but I acknowledge the greatness from the movies back then? It's kind of
Hmm.
something that pulls me like left and right because I
Hmm.
do want these stories told from people that went through that or that are part from the culture and stuff like that. Because you're absolutely right. Who would make a Jim Crow vampire movie that Hollywood would take on from a white
Right.
director? It would be hard for someone to take on because you have to fit that experience and you have to make
Hmm.
it to where it's balanced. I feel like I'm jumping to my review already. You have to feel like it's
Hmm.
balanced where it's not too overpowering, but it's like you feel like you're there. You feel like you're
Hmm.
there in that, and it's not preachy, but it's like you feel like you're in the 30s, which I felt like I was
Hmm.
in. Like I felt like I heard enough like
Hmm.
certain language, which I mentioned in my review,
Mhm.
them saying the word cracker and stuff like that. Like, I felt like this was
Mhm.
common speech being thrown around to make it seem
Right.
like, okay, we're in Jim Crow in the damn deep South, you
Mhm.
know? And I don't
Yeah,
know if
yeah,
any other director could have could have done. I mean, maybe Quentin Tarantino because he drops the N-word every 5 seconds in his movies, but
yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, Tarantino's dope.
yeah,
Mhm.
I wasn't trying to harp on it too much. I just I understand it now as I get older, especially,
Mhm.
the perspectives and people's experiences, and I want the diversity. I just know seeing the internet sometimes and getting trapped in, like, the Twitter sphere that people make it
Mhm.
a headline,
Yeah.
and I feel like now people of color have to really try even fucking harder to be on this level playing field of directors or even actors. Like, you have to kinda, like,
Mhm.
outshine to show that you're worth this fucking role, or else people go,
Mm.
"Oh, he's a DEI
Yeah.
hire," or, "He's
Yeah.
hired because they just need to check a box off," and that's not necessarily what I think. Obviously, there's,
Mhm.
Disney, all this other shit that I don't wanna get into, but
Mhm.
I don't want it to get like that. I want it to be judged off of, is it a good story? Is it a good script? And are the actors stellar in it? And
Yeah, I love what you brought up Spielberg because, like, no matter what color barrier is, like, you felt like you was there in The Color Purple. He told that story
one of my
beautifully.
favorite
You know what I'm
movies.
saying? Like, yeah, you're like,
My
holy
favorite
shit,
movies.
bro. It's a Jewish guy who directed this. So, like, I don't care. It's
Yeah.
it's just it's just it is what it is. It's just a great product. So I love that point that you
And
brought
maybe
up.
even
Very nice.
he tapped into the Jewish heritage of, like, the concentration camps and just, like,
Oh yeah.
the killings that have gone on, with Jewish people. Maybe he tapped into that to kind of try to relate to
Hmm.
Black America, or just Black people in general, to try to create this, with the cast. And that's another stellar cast too. You have to have all the story, all the stars have to align when you're creating these movies, especially a
Yeah, that's what you
timepiece,
want.
especially a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
timepiece. So,
Hmm.
all that being said, man, let's just jump into this damn Sinners review.
All
Let's
right,
jump
let's
into
get
the
it.
Sinners review. You ready, Q?
Let's get it.
I know you're
Yes,
ready.
sir.
Okay. So,
Oh
Sinners,
yeah.
it did come out this weekend. If you guys are watching this at a later date, Easter weekend. So let's get into something that we were talking about offline. Easter weekend. What do you think of a devilish vampire movie like this releasing this weekend?
Oh, yeah, shoot, I love it. I think it's dope. Yeah, like, heck yes. I think it's perfect timing and smart marketing. Or will it scare people away? Like, I'm not seeing that demon ass shit, you know what I'm saying, on Easter on Easter weekend. I can see people doing that because I was in a podcast. I was just in the chat room, and then like they were like, "Are y'all seeing Sinners this weekend?" And like, yeah, everybody's going to see it. There was a couple of people was like,
We're going
"No,
after
it's Easter
church.
weekend." Yeah, yeah. He's like, a couple people was like, yeah, it's Easter weekend. I ain't gonna put, you know what I'm saying, I ain't gonna put that into my soul on Easter weekend. Hey, it's a movie that, you know what I'm saying, that made up of frames, you know what I'm saying? None of this has to do with anything. It got, mentions of stuff, but it's not real. So,
Yeah.
it's a film. Yeah, I'm not putting in that. That's what black people be like I know around. Like, I'm not putting that in my spirit. I ain't putting that in my spirit. Like, what's in your spirit?
And it's interesting because this movie is a lot of religious undertones. I mean, the opening scene is literally oh, got the guitar players. I got to pull him up.
Sammy?
Miles, was it Sammy?
Sammy, I think. Yeah, you can pull it
Okay.
up.
I think his real
Mhm.
name is
I don't know his real name though.
something Catton,
Yeah, yeah, Canton.
and this
Miles,
is
might be Miles Canton.
Miles Cat. Let me see. So it is his first movie. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, isn't that
that's
crazy? Think, like,
yeah,
I
that's what
mean,
I
to
was
know
like. That was his first movie. I was like,
Miles
well, he
Catton.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, Miles Canton. He was fantastic, bro.
yeah,
When he started playing that banjo, when he started singing, it was like, whoa! It was a. I guess we get into it.
yeah. This is a character
But,
that I believed that he wanted more for himself. Like, he was very into. His dad was a preacher, and there was a little congregation in this. It looked like a super small town. Um,
mm-hmm,
and he grew up in that area. I mean, he grew up around religion, so that's all he knew, and it was a part of daily life. But he knew that
hmm.
he wanted more as far as the gifts that were that. What do you think? Are gifts given to you, or can anybody learn to be great when it comes to being a musician? What do you think?
I think, I mean, like some people got just got. I can't sing worth to save my life. I can't sing. My wife can sing really
Yeah,
well, you know what I'm saying? But I can't sing. I wasn't blessed with that gift. And I don't think I could just learn how to sing. I can cheat it and use auto tunes, you know what I'm saying? But like a gift is a gift. If you got the gift to sing, you got the gift to sing. And some people that extremely athletic, you know what I'm saying, and, from birth, you know, and just got
yeah,
that talent. But I do think it takes it takes something to hone that talent too. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to take practice and dedication to hone it. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Kobe Bryant was always a dope basketball player, but for him, like Kobe Bryant to be Kobe Bryant, I think he had to go into the gym every day and shoot that rim, shoot at
very
the
true.
rim every day and keep going, you know what I'm saying, and be the best he can be. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the answer is that cool?
Well, I
Answer.
was gonna say once it comes to obviously singing and athleticism, yeah, that's a whole different ball game. But I'm talking about like, could you just pick up and learn a guitar, or do you think some people just have it in them? Pick up a guitar and it just
Hmm.
starts music starts pouring out of their fingers, right? Or do you think
Yeah,
anybody could learn? Because I'll be honest,
yeah.
okay, so my experience, I used to produce music back when I was in my music phase and stuff like that.
Hmm.
There was equipment. I don't know how familiar you are with equipment. There's like
Hmm.
called like NPCs. It's basically like
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, these programs that are built into these machines that have pads, and you can hit you play the drums basically with your
Hmm.
fingers, right? You've seen that.
Yep, I remember. Yep.
I could never do that. I tried my hardest. I could never be coordinated. But through programs and computers, I was able to make beats online. I was more on the computer. I was more visual when it came to that than using my fingers and stuff like that. So I was able to create
Hmm.
beats that were I thought pretty good. I mean, people used them and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So that's kind of what I'm getting across. Do you think that some
Yeah,
people are just born to play the
I got one.
piano, got it in them,
Mhm.
or anybody could learn that along the way? Because in my experience, I couldn't learn certain things.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like when I was doing music, it was just one guy. He could sing really well, and then he didn't know he was never trained on the piano or nothing like that. But we're like I would come up with a bass line like, yeah, let's sample Michael Jackson's "Smooth Criminal." Go dun 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 dun, and he'll just sit there and play it like dun 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 dun. Dun. He just know what the keys and just knows how to make it sound for what it sounds like. He's never been trained on the piano or anything like that or really
Oh,
played it. He could just play it. You know what I'm saying? So then
so
then that's how we get our little loop for whatever. Then you add we'll add some you know how making beats back in the
oh
day with
yeah,
the keyboard type thing. But he can just play it. I can do it. I'll be like, oh shit, that's not right. So
yeah.
yeah. So he had a gift like that. So yeah, I do think people are born with gifts. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when it does come to singing, like you said. I mean, some people. I mean, all you have to do is YouTube. America's Got Talent
Mhm.
fails, and you see people cannot sing, right?
Yeah.
And everybody
Yeah.
thinks
Good
they can.
point. Yeah.
Everybody thinks they can sing. But I thought
Mhm.
this was I guess we could just get into the overall story. So we get Sammy's character, and I like how the movie starts out at the end or the next day. What do you think about
Mhm.
that? Because it starts kinda like in a not chronological order, and then they
Mhm.
take you back a day earlier, and then it seems like he's also having, like, these, like, flashbacks. His dad knows immediately, "I know you've seen some shit, son, like, come here. I know you've seen some shit. Like, I'm not
Mhm.
gonna ask what it is, we're just gonna try to get this devil out of you, basically, like, out of your mind," right? And he
Mhm.
embraces him, and then we start seeing flashes like, basically, like, demonistic shit.
Mhm.
Stuff that was happening that he experienced the night before, and then we get the one day earlier where we get our world building of these characters, um, who just are hired to work at this jute club joint, and then vampires ensue. What'd you think
Mhm.
about that intro of the movie?
I thought it was brilliant. I didn't know what was going on at first too, because we had to get to the end to see it. So like, oh, what's going on? This is weird. I guess we can get into it. You know what I'm saying? They give us backstory to it. I thought it was good. I loved just that shot of the guitar and all the strings kind of broken on there. That's what I really remember in the scratches on his neck. I thought it was kind of scary too, like to walk up in the church like that, you know what I'm saying, in that black church. I thought it got an eerie, uneasy feeling about that. And then we see, what I'm saying, then we get into the movie, but I thought it was dope, especially, what I'm saying, once I come to the end of the movie and seeing what this, character is all about. So I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you stayed through the post credits scene. So like we're
Oh yeah.
spoiling it. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. So
This is all
yeah.
spoilers, guys. Did you notice that when he
Mhm.
opened the doors to the church, no one really reacted? even the girls that were
I didn't
singing in the
notice.
front, the girls that were singing in the front, they were staring at him and they were still singing and they did not even look like is this common for people to get possessed? And I don't because he looked like
We got another one.
he's literally
Yeah.
bleeding. He has a scratch on it. Oh, by the way, who scratched him? Because I remember the scratch, but I don't
I don't
remember who
know.
scratched him.
I don't know, bro.
Was it
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
redneck
thinking
guy,
too.
the main guy? Because he had long claws.
It had to be. I don't remember him Pacific seeing him being scratched. I was thinking about that too. That's why I was going to go see it
So
again today. Like, who scratched him? I was thinking
yeah,
the same shit.
let me know because so many
Hmm.
things were happening. Like I couldn't focus on that, especially
Hmm.
in that scene.
Third act.
God, bro, when the Asian lady goes, "Fuck this, let him in." Oh God, it popped
Hmm.
off. I was like, this was like this was the Dust Till Dawn scene right here.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it was. It
Every
was like fucking let them all in. Then it was just crazy. It was too much to keep up with, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
dope, but like, fuck, I want to
yeah.
see. But yeah, like, it was kind of chaotic, bro, in a good way, though.
In a great way. So before we get to all of that, we have all this character building of um Smoke and Stack, played by Michael B. Jordan. So what did you think of him playing the dual characters, and did it look natural? I know I saw your review, so you said it was done pretty
Mhm.
well.
Yeah, it was done really well. Yeah, yeah, like usually, like I said, like to do the split screen with two people. You might have seen it on my what was it, the Us review. This how they used to do it. They'll split the screen right here, and then you'll just keep the camera right here, like the same place, and then I'll come shoot on this side, and then I'll take it in post and kind of do this and feather it together. That's how they used to do it, even back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So, to see them do it, like it was a shot when they're against the car and the camera's panning like this, it's moving. So how is that? You know what I'm saying? They had to be comped out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was some computer effects going on. I'm not gonna get too
Mhm.
technical about it. And you know what I'm saying, one over each other. But then they got the part when they're smoking a cigarette and he's passing it to him in his hand and he's bending down and getting it. I don't know how they did that.
Yeah. I was looking at that
Motherfucker.
cigarette the whole time because I was trying to see any
Yeah.
anomalies or anything that looked
Mhm.
weird. It looks so
Yeah.
clean. It looks so clean.
How you do that? How you and keep the smoke in the same? You know what I'm saying? Because if it's two people, they can't really be there at the same time. So how's the smoke and everything? You know what I'm saying? Line up. It had to be CG or something. I have no clue, bro. It baffles my mind. But that was fantastic. I was like, whoa,
So
okay,
good.
well, this is next level. And to speak of Michael B. Jordan's performance as Smoke and Stack, they seem like two different people. At first, you look, oh yeah, it's two Michael B. Jordans. Then two scenes later, oh, that's Smoke and Stack. You know what I'm saying? He had a certain demeanor. You know what I'm saying? One
Yeah.
will always kind of sit up like this, smoke a cigarette. The other one kind of had like a toothpick a lot of times, though.
Yeah.
It was dope. It was dope. I honestly believe that's Michael B. Jordan's best performance that he done thus far in his career.
I'm glad you
Yeah,
said that. I'm so glad you said that because I
it
felt the
is.
same way. I have not seen I have not seen Creed 3,
Yeah.
but based
Mhm.
off of everything I've seen in Fruitvale, Black Panther, uh, uh, what's the courtroom drama? No Mercy.
Yeah,
Uh,
No Mercy. I think I
movies like
forgot about
that.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
movies like that. I was just kind of judging off of everything, and I'm like, dude, there was so much intensity, um, in his face, especially. I know we're jumping ahead, but the scene where Mary becomes a vamp, or is Mary Haley Steinfeld's character, Mary,
Mary.
yeah, when she
Hmm.
becomes full vamp and she kills the
Stack.
brother Stack, that's who it
Mhm.
was, um, kills Stack. Uh, he doesn't even fucking hesitate. He blasts the shit out of her with two guns.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
the intent he didn't need to know how this happened. He just knew that his brother was pretty
Yeah.
much presumably dead on the floor. And he was
Yeah.
very overprotective of his brother. He
Yeah.
like you said, he had different mannerisms than his brother. Man, it was incredible to see once again, and playing dual roles. It felt like two different actors, but not.
That's what I was just saying. It felt like two different people. They literally say, I mean, you believe that character. That's what was dope about it. The characters, Smoke and Stack. You believe them. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He seemed like he was really this juke joint you know what I'm saying, gangster type dude because they established that at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like they gangsters and stuff too. But I believe them. And I had a blast. I want to say a blast watching them on him on screen. I said them because he was so good. I'm speaking them like they're two people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right?
Smoke and Stack. I love watching them on screen, bro. Like that
Yeah.
was a treat. Like I said in my review, I would have watched this movie just to watch Smoke and Stack do some gangster shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Throughout the whole movie in the South. If this was
Yeah.
just a gangster movie without the vampires, it would have still been dope to me. You know what I'm saying? It would have still been dope. You know what I'm saying?
The fact that Ryan Coogler gave them a backstory of being in I believe World War I, right? Presumably it was
Yeah,
because
it's the
they talked about
30s. Yep.
in being in Germany and being skilled, which does come into play at that last act where he just
hmm
starts busting off all those guns and the grenades and stuff.
hmm
To me, that's important because it shows that they're not just average thugs; they are skilled thugs. Because how many
hmm
movies have we seen over the years, especially 80s action movies, where you got these henchmen that don't even know how to fucking shoot? They're just like shooting everywhere, and they're always missing.
yeah.
And then you got
yeah,
someone,
yeah, yeah.
coming in that's actually like a trained soldier, and it just takes them one shot to take out these guys, right? Like a John
Yeah,
Wick, right?
right.
John Wick doesn't
hmm
use a lot of ammo because he doesn't need to.
Yeah, no, just
One fucking
get
bullet
everybody
is going through
to
this
the
guy's
head.
head.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that's important to give him a backstory. He also, touches on Chicago and them being there for I believe 7 years and them coming back
hmm
to pretty much start this juke joint. Um, Mainly because we also do find out that this money wasn't really earned. It was stolen, they start finding out along the alcohol was stolen as well. I believe the alcohol was stolen
hmm
because I believe it's Annie's character. He goes, "You have Italian and then Irish beer right here." He goes, you didn't just get this, like you stole it." You know what I mean? Because that
hmm
was like a hard thing. Even Delroy Lindo, Delta Slim, his character, he says like when he says that's Irish beer, that was like a fucking not a known thing. Like that was not a common thing to have a beer like that. And he just
hmm
drinks it and he's just like, oh, like yeah, I'll give you all the beer
Like,
and fucking
oh,
corn whiskey you want or whatever the hell it was. Like
yeah,
everything that you
yeah.
need or whatever. I'll pay you double what you get paid at the other place, right? So
hmm
I like hearing all that because we just kind of get a glimpse of who these guys are, and then we get to see them in action. I love that. It's perfect. It's
hmm
just enough to know. Like you don't need a prequel. Like I don't need to see a
hmm
flashback. Like I know these guys are gangsters essentially. They're gangsters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I mean?
It's established from the opening shot when you see them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, we cousins. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, they some gangsters, bro. And they was gangster the whole time, and I loved it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love the gangsters
Uh,
of it. You know what I'm saying? I
did
think
you
that's a great dynamic.
did you think it was funny that they gave one of them primarily like blue and then the other one, the other stack or whoever it was, I forget which one had
Red.
red, but it was red and blue. And then, I mean,
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler is from California, so it's like
hmm
Blood and Crips is like really deep. I know it's deep nationwide now, but it was primarily
hmm
like a California thing. I mean, did
hmm
you notice that at all? I mean, he could have chose any fucking
Yeah.
colors. It could have been, yellow and orange or something, but he
Yeah. Yeah.
primarily
Yeah.
chose blue and red. I think that was a very significant thing, and especially when you get to the music scene. Uh,
hmm
um,
hmm
that's very West
hmm
Coast in some of the parts,
Yes,
but,
definitely West Coast. I mean, yeah, yeah. He from the Bay. Yeah,
from
yeah.
Bay
He up
Area.
there in the yeah, yeah. He from Bay Area, and definitely California based. You know what I'm saying? It's all day. I think it's definitely blood, Crips and Bloods. I think he did it on purpose.
A little
You know what I'm
homage, huh? A
saying?
little homage.
Yeah, a little homage. You know what I'm saying? Or I don't know, but it kind of worked.
I did too. I mean,
If I-
those are
yeah,
colors that really stand out to people, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're just like,
Um,
damn, all right, red and blue. Let's go. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
maybe America too, red, white, and blue, but it wasn't a white. But I'm reaching.
There there
But
was white. There was white people.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
right.
I think you just tapped into something. Yeah.
It's
Mary?
time for you, Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that
Um,
could be that too.
that's interesting. Did you have a favorite character at all?
Shit. Smoke and Stack. Both of them. I
Michael
like
B.
both of them.
Jordan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like Michael B. Jordan. He was my favorite character in the film. Yep, 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 yeah. Yeah, Michael B. Jordan was my favorite character, both of them. If I had to pick one, I love Delroy Lindo
Mhm.
when he when they had to eat the garlic.
Bro, how fucking funny was that? Because that was such a red herring that like he was he was a vampire. Because at first I
Like the
was like,
thing
yeah, I was like, there was no one in there that could have bitten someone that quick. Everybody that turned into a vampire literally ran out like
ran
of the
out.
bar
Yeah.
right away. So I was like, and then I saw the and I was like, oh god, no, not Delta Slim.
That other stuff, like, oh man, and it lasted a long time too. And then it was like, no, man,
Yeah.
this shit just nasty or whatever. It was.
He's like
I
he's
thought
like,
that
I'm
was
sorry.
hilarious.
He's like, I almost threw up all that alcohol that got in me.
Yeah, he was great, bro. He was a great alcoholic
Oh,
blues player. He,
so great.
I would say he's like my second favorite in the movie. Oh
Okay.
shit, and damn, Haley Stein, they all fire, bro. Like then I
That's
had to
what
think
makes it
about Haley
tough. Yeah.
Steinfeld. Like fuck, yeah, everybody was fire. With my band from 8 Mile, he was funny when he when he couldn't get back into the barn. What's
Oh,
his name from 8 Mile?
cornbread.
Cornbread.
Cornbread. He's funny. Okay, he
Cornbread.
was from 8 Mile. Was he in any other movies like a while ago? I feel like I saw him when he was a kid actor or teenager or something like that.
Probably so. I don't know. I don't know why I only remember him from 8 Mile, but I know he's been in other films for sure. I just don't. I'm
He was
just not
good.
sure.
He was really
Yeah, he was
good.
good. He was fun. Yeah, everybody did not come to play in this movie. That's what, like you said, when you got a cast, you got a director firing on all cylinders. Yeah, you end up making for a classic, and I think that's what Cooler got here.
Also going back to cornbread, I thought it was important to show the fields, the cotton fields.
Hmm.
Because they showed his wife who was pregnant, really like far
Hmm.
along pregnant, and that didn't stop
Hmm.
work. Like you still had to work and stuff like that. And that shows you how far things have changed because that would be an outrage nowadays for that to even happen. I know that still goes on around the world. I know there's kids in shops and stuff like that with their parents, like sweatshops and stuff like that. I understand
Hmm.
that, but that also gives context of the time that we were living in. Also, right at the beginning, when Sammy shows where he lives, there's like he has like 10 siblings fucking on the ground in the beds and stuff like that, like
Hmm.
foot head to foot or whatever you want to call it. The mattresses were they were. I don't even think they had mattresses. I think they were just laying on the floor, and blankets
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Also, this to me adds a bunch of character strength because it in a if someone had a lesser environment, it would definitely sway their future actions. So they might
Mhm.
crumble. They might crumble at the sight of vampires or knowing this demonistic shit. But because they're so hardened by life, these characters, I think I'm not saying it came easier. I'm just saying that they've seen evil shit already. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah,
So
just another add to the list. Yeah.
I think it was important to show that, especially the money aspect too, because when he's like, man, fuck that work and fuck your wife. Remember when Stacks or Michael B. Jordan says that, and he's like,
Yeah, yeah,
what?
yeah,
And then
yeah.
his wife's like, how much?
Yeah, I love that.
Because it's
How
like
what?
times are fucking tough, especially
Yeah.
for certain people back then, and just the sight of that money, that it's just the stacks of money that he had, said something,
Mhm.
said a lot. It Man, it was great. Everything about this movie was fucking great for me. Like I was really trying to find a nitpick gripe with it. I couldn't. I really
Mhm.
couldn't. Like
Yeah.
even that scene, which we'll get into in a second. I know you had questions about it. The whole music
Mhm.
scene when Sammy
Yeah.
starts going off with the guitar and singing and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, I I heard other reviewers talking about that scene, kind of not knowing how if they were gonna like it or how the audience was gonna like it. I was even feeling like how my audience was gonna like it. If you don't mind, if you
Mhm.
if you're done with the characters, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sure, sure. Let's get into it. Let's
Okay.
let it go.
So there's that scene with Sammy where he breaks through, and I love how they introduce Sammy, and he starts playing, and Delroy Lindo goes, "No, son, tell him who you are and where you're from." I fucking love that because that
Mhm.
was a little subtle piece of dialogue. Because Sammy was just like he was nervous. This is like his first big gig, right?
Mhm.
And he's like, "Okay, let me breathe. Let me breathe.
Mhm.
This is who I am. This is where I'm from." And people were just like, "Okay." And he goes, "And this is a song about my dad," I think he said. "My dad's a
Mhm.
preacher. They call me Preacher Boy." That's what he said.
Yeah, preacher
Like,
boy. Yeah.
wow, just the whole setup was like
Yeah.
perfect. Instead of
Yeah.
just getting directly into it, because most people would be like, "Oh, the music speaks for itself," right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he he wanted to do a little. He made sure he let the people know, like, this is who I am. You're gonna hear from me in the future. Like this ain't the first time you're gonna see me, and I really like that a lot.
Oh,
I,
oh, yeah, yeah, nice. Now I see. Yep.
I really
Yeah,
like
that
that a
makes sense
lot.
now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um.
You'll see me in the future.
So
Oh,
the
yeah, because he was like a being. So I get it now. So I guess we'll get into it.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So that whole
Mhm,
music sequence where we get our first taste of Sammy on the guitar. He's great. He does have a soulful, rich fucking blues voice to the core. I thought he
yeah,
sounded really,
bro.
especially for his age. He's supposed to be like like really teenager, right? 17, 18. I don't know, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
I would guess. And to usually have that voice and to have that soul already in you, because even Delroy Lindo, he's like, boy, he goes, I got socks older than
Mhm.
you,
Yes.
right?
You don't know nothing
By the
about
way,
no blues.
I
Mm.
didn't even mention Delroy Lindo, Delta Slim is my favorite character in this movie
Oh,
for sure.
nice, nice, nice.
But
Very
I
cool.
think that's because Delroy Lindo has done so much in his career.
Mhm,
It just comes natural to him. It really does come
mhm,
natural. So we get it all. We get this set it off with the music, then we get this whole 360 pan where I
mhm.
think it first starts off with someone from like the Funkadelics or like that Parliament sound comes in
Yeah.
with the guitar and he's like, "Bow," coming from the 80s with the electric guitar. And I was like,
Mhm.
at first I was like, hey, what are they gonna do here?
That's what I was like. I was like, "What's going on?"
What's going
Yeah,
on?
yeah.
Yeah.
I took a mild gummy, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
shit.
before I went to go see the movie, I'm just putting it out there. Weed is
Okay.
legal here and they
Oh man,
so I'm
you're
like
good.
I'm like am I super high or did I just see somebody break dancing at a juke joint and some Crips and
Yeah.
Bloods? I'm like, what the fuck is going? I got very confused. I didn't know what was going on. Like what I didn't get it. And then I think somebody told me what was going on later. Like he transcends time and space. Like he's this is not the first time he's been here, and that was like a literal visual representation of that
Mhm.
character, right?
Well, I just saw it as obviously we tapped into the mind of Ryan Coogler. I don't think we tapped into the mind of any characters there because
Mhm.
how would Sammy know about the future of black music? How would he know that? I think
I
it
don't
was
know.
yeah, it was just kind of an artistic representation of black culture of music, like not even just African Americans, but African because they show like tribal dances
Mhm,
going on, which is obviously a huge part of the culture. And I like
mhm.
that they show people on bongos.
It was
Also
guitars in
the
there, like
dance.
heavy metal. Too. Did you hear it? It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
"Brow." I
oh
was
yeah.
like, "Whoa."
But dude, if you really want to know how deep black culture goes, check out a movie called A Band Called Death. I don't know if I've recommended that or if you ever heard that.
Never
It
heard
was like the
that. Yeah.
first black like punk metal band ever, and they came from
Mm.
Motown. And they were
Oh,
like,
wow.
"We ain't gonna do Motown sound. We don't like that's fine, but that is not the music that we wanna do." And they fucking
Mhm.
killed it, and they were like the only black group that ever did that. And it
Oh,
was like in the
wow.
se I think it was in the '70s.
Damn, I
Um,
never heard that. Imma check it out. Yeah,
yeah,
that sounds good.
but music has no color barriers, but the fact that they showed how much, black culture influences, like, music that we know today, I thought was a great representation. So they show
Mhm,
that, they showed, breakdancing, like you said. They showed a guy rapping on stage and stuff like that, and just every aspect of the culture. They showed a DJ, like DJs. They also showed like some
mhm,
girls twerking, which is like more of a modern, more like a modern twist
mhm.
of it, like a Megan the Stallion thing. They also showed crumping, the dance style crumping, which is like
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a West Coast thing. Yeah, yeah, that. I
Yeah,
saw a
yeah,
guy
yeah.
doing that, and I was like, yes. They also showed a black woman who was a ballet doing ballet.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
like, did you see her? Like, she
Yeah.
was, like, in pink, and she had, like, I don't know what they call the ballet, attire, but
Tutu? Oh, yeah.
something like that, yeah. I don't think she had a
Yeah,
tutu on, but she
subscription.
had the spandex, like, suit, but she was doing,
Yeah.
like, she was spinning around and stuff like that, basically
Okay.
showing you that black culture is in every aspect, every facet of lifestyle, no once again, normalizing it, which I think is
Yeah.
it's just a it's music is music. I don't say, like, "Oh, that's
Mhm,
black music," like, I don't say that's white music, because at this
mhm,
point, I think we've gone so far with music in general. Music transcends race. I'm sorry. Like to me,
mhm,
music can be done by anybody. And it really can
mhm,
be anybody. Like that's why when people were
mhm,
like, Beyonce can't do country, well, why not?
mhm.
Why not?
What's that song? What's that song? Everybody in the club getting tipsy. Remember that
Yeah,
one by
Jake
Jay
One.
Wan? Remember yeah, they got a country song, the sung by a black guy,
Oh,
but it's like,
Shabuzi.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shabuzi.
Jabuzi. That shit sound good, bro.
Yeah. Or even on the
Like
opposite
this
side,
country.
even on the opposite side of the coin, why can't Eminem? Why can't Post Malone? Why can't MGK? Why can't these guys do rap music? Sure, it may look weird
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff like
yeah.
that, but why can't music just be music? And if you don't like them, obviously judge the
Hmm.
music. Don't judge what they look like. That's kind of been
Hmm.
my whole thing is it may be jarring at first, like, okay, this guy's stepping into our culture, but
Yeah.
you have to judge the music by its overall merit, I think, just like how we judge movies, right? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I, th-
Yep. I think I like I think Eminem is the best rapper in the world, no matter what color he is. Like nobody can out rap that man.
I
I'm
And we know
sorry.
that, and
You
we
gotta
know why
move.
people did not start rap culture. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
y you know,
Hmm.
so I think the whole representation of that. I mean, also they showed some West Coast. They showed like some guys doing like a C-Rock. They're like, "Da,
Yeah.
na, na."
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
cool. You could hear like the
Yeah. That
synth
was cool.
playing. It was very West
Hmm.
Coasty, and I actually really loved like the beat overall because it was like you were hearing
Hmm.
all these
It was
instruments, and I was like,
crazy.
fucking dope. I come from a world of mashups. Like when I
Yeah.
grew up, I loved
Hmm.
mashups and all these like remixes and stuff like that. So when I hear that, I
Hmm.
was like, someone had a really
Yeah.
great ear putting this piece together.
That was
You
yeah,
know?
Ludwig, that guy, the composer. That was crazy. I never heard nothing like that, bro. And I know it was a
Right?
little high. Like I am high. Now I'm at the peak of my high. You know what I'm saying? This like I'm too high for this right now. I didn't understand what was going on. It
When
took
you
me
watch it,
like, that's why I had to come home. I couldn't do an immediate out of the theater reaction because I was like, what was that scene all about? I didn't
oh, you
understand
had
it.
to let it
And then
marinate. You had to let it.
yeah, I couldn't just come out of the theater and talk. I had to go home and
Yeah.
think about some shit. You know what I'm saying? Not to be perfect, because I just want to gather my thoughts. And that scene in particular, I just didn't understand until like a couple days later. Like, oh, okay, I kind of get it now. Yeah, but like I was all into this. This is even before the vampires come, right? So I was all into this gangster Mississippi Jim Crow era
Mhm.
thing, and then they hit me with some crazy visuals. I was like, what? But I love it now that in retrospect. Now I love that scene now, and that's why I want to go see it again today. Yeah,
Yeah, you got to let me know
it's over.
your sober reaction.
Yeah, yep. Sober reaction. No, I was
Hey,
fine the whole time, and then just that part was like, what? What is
yeah,
going on?
yeah. I really just love the visual representation of the music. I thought the music it was a huge part of the movie as far as it like conjuring
Yes.
these
Yeah, we got to
spirits
talk
and
about the
stuff like
music.
that.
Hmm.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
really conjuring because they showed the vampire Remick. Yeah, Remick, played by Jack
Hmm.
O'Connell.
Hmm.
He was already, remember, he was like running to that house of the few
Hmm.
clans members, and that was an interesting part too because he was escaping these Native Americans that were on the hunt for him. They knew about him because they also talked about in the beginning of the movie, which was like an animation form or drawing, is that
Hmm.
these spirits have been conjured up like years and years or centuries, just in different cultures, and it's primarily through music because they talk about how music
Hmm.
is usually like a harmonious thing and it brings good vibes and stuff like that. But sometimes there's songs, there's certain things that you could do bring on bad spirits and conjure those. And I thought that was very well said, especially over
Hmm.
every culture that indulges in music, because African roots is not the main primary that we focus on here as far as music goes. They focus on like Celtic, Irish music here later on in the
Hmm.
film, which I thought was really interesting. There's a whole scene where they're jumping around in circles. I thought that part was pretty creepy because it's literally
Hmm.
their characters that have gotten bitten and now they're part of this vampire crew and they're like jumping around, yeah, like
Yeah.
praising this guy in a circle. And I was like, this is fucking creepy because they
Hmm.
outnumber everybody that's inside now. So
Yeah.
it got scary,
Hmm.
it got spooky. But
Yeah, it did get scary. You think Sammy was a conduit to bring the evil to the joint? Was it
that's a
that
good
was that the
question.
calling? Was that the calling? You know what I'm saying? Because I think he might be like, because they did say something about them. That's why I thought that scene, that dancing scene, was representing that type of character with the gift of the music, because they said something
Yeah.
about it in the beginning with that, when those drawings you were talking about, like sometimes, what I'm saying, it can bring this and sometimes it can bring evil, and then you see the red eyes in the back, with the guitar, yeah,
Well,
so was he a conduit?
he
Hmm.
definitely conjured Remick and the two other people
Hmm.
that were with him. He said
Hmm.
I heard your music, and I'm here.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. Um he might have been actually a conduit because he wanted him. He wanted
Hmm.
him I think alive, or maybe he was going to turn him because
Yeah, good
he
question.
made it seem like he was special. Like he was not just
Hmm.
a he didn't just want to turn him as another victim. Like he wanted him because he knew he had that gift. So
Hmm.
possibly. Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about that.
That goes back to the post credit scene. I guess when you're spoiling it anyway with Michael B.
Sure.
Jordan, this is about, like, I guess the 90s, I guess 80s, 90s, and he
It
sees
was
Sammy in the bar.
92, I believe. It was 1992.
Yeah, yeah, he sees him in the bar, and now we know he's a vampire. Now he didn't lived all this time. He didn't turn him, but I guess because that was his friend. But I don't know what was the intentions of what was his name, Malik or Ralik, the main vampire with
Remick.
Sammy.
Remick, yeah.
Yeah, Remick. Yeah, Remick. I don't know. Did he want to turn him? Is he got some type of special blood that he want? I don't know. I don't know. That's why I want to see it again too, because I don't.
There's a
It's
lot of
interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that this movie does leave you with, which I think is good. I hope they don't do like
Hmm.
some prequel for it because sometimes people want to know why this guy turned like why what happened or how
Hmm.
did Remick turn into a vampire? We need to know a brat.
I don't
No,
care.
no, leave it. No, when you start doing shit like that, you start
Yeah.
weakening the main movie. I think start
Yep.
weakening it.
Yep. Yep.
Like I
Like
just
like
heard.
Michael Myers, right?
Yeah, right.
Like the Rob Zombie one's like, why you got to come from a shit life and all this? Why you can't just stab people? It's scarier that way.
Yeah. Like I just heard an announcement a couple days ago of one of these streamers doing a prequel to Pacific Rim. I'm like, who gives a fuck about we just know that this is what needs to be done. We don't need a fucking
Yeah.
Pacific like how they built these machines. Who cares?
No, who cares? Yeah, yeah. Let's
I,
already this. Yeah, bro, it's so stupid.
yeah, I
Let's
mean,
let's
me
get to
personally, I
something.
don't need it. Yeah, I don't need it, but I mean, maybe some people are diehard fans of Pacific Rim. I don't know.
No, just make another one. I
Yeah,
know
just
they
make a
made two of them. Yeah, yeah.
second
But
one was
just make
whatever,
another one.
but yeah, just make another one.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, so I agree though of the whole conduit thing. That's a really good. That makes me think a lot. Um,
Yeah, because it's the whole thing. Why would they just come there? You know what I'm saying? It had to be called there, for some reason, But yeah, that's why I think they were there. You know what I'm saying? Because that music, it brought them there. You know what I'm saying? It could bring
maybe
good stuff, and it could bring evil sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So,
so
and they in the
maybe
place sinning. You know?
maybe before. Okay, so we know that Smoke and Stack give the guitar. When did they give him the guitar? Okay, so I'm trying to think of this timeline because it was kind of fucking me up a little bit.
Hmm.
Because he gets this guitar. Do we know that he plays it before he goes to the jute joint?
Yeah, he played it in the car with who was it? It was Smoke, the one with the red. He was driving in the drop top,
Right.
and he was like, "Yeah, let me see what you got
Maybe
with that thing." And he was
maybe
like,
that's what
he was
summoned.
like,
Maybe that's what summoned Remick.
"Mm-hmm,
Because
yeah,
I think that we get to see Remick after. Remember when he's running through that
mm-hmm,
cornfield or whatever, and he's running to that house, and
mm-hmm,
he's like trying to avoid the sundown,
mm-hmm, yep,
and he's
yep."
trying to get
Good point.
to basically the shadows, so he
Yep,
doesn't burn. And
yeah, great
I
shot.
want to say because something had to have conjured this, some kind of
Mm-hmm.
music or sex, or
Signal, yeah,
maybe the Native Americans did it by accident. I don't know. I just that is a
that's a good
question that
question.
kind of like leaves me like just wanting to watch the movie again. Maybe I missed
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. I love that scene too when he first plays his guitar and Michael B. Jordan's car, and he just looks at him like, "Woo,
oh, he's like,
we gonna make a lot of money."
we're gonna make money. I love that. I love that. That seems so genuine when he said that.
Yeah, it seemed genuine. A lot of the dialogue seemed genuine. That's what I have to give this props to this movie too. It seemed like they really talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we had a couple. We were talking about before the stream here. It was like,
Right?
damn, she sounded like she really meant that shit when she said it.
Oh yeah.
Why would you come murder this people? You know? Hey, no problem.
All right, Q. So I wanted to know what did you think about some of the non-black characters? So we had like Haley Steinfeld. We also had Grace, Bo, the ones that owned the shop that they were. You remember they had the little daughter. They were worried about if she was going to get bit and stuff like that. So we had a couple of
Mhm.
um, non-black characters that were thrown into this Jim Crow era. I believe it was right either after or during Prohibition times because this is
Mhm.
1932. World
Prohibition.
War One and stuff like that. So, what did you think about their implementation, I should say, into this movie? Because usually you don't see that. Usually with communities that are all black, it's usually just all black. Even some of the stores were black owned and stuff like that. So, what did you think about that? Adding them in the movie. I mean, was it raise any questions,
Great
or
question.
did it matter at all?
Great question. First off, once again, I think it goes back to this movie firing on all cylinders again because the white actors were great, bro. Jack O'Connor was great. You know what I'm saying? Just like the way he talked, the main vampire, and his mannerisms. And I like it, like I said, how manipulative he was of trying to get the people to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got our money and everything. Like, you almost was gonna let his ass in. Like, damn, he's a real slick talking son of a bitch.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, love that guy. I think they had the right. I think the people needed to be where they needed to be. Haley Steinfeld, great. Great. She played and they let her in too. What I like at first, I like they didn't want to let her in and shit. Like, you in the wrong place, but they kind of
Yeah.
had history and shit. And you know what I'm saying? And she was like a good sauce thickener. She just like fit in with everything perfect. She didn't kind of seem out of place until she got out of line. Did
Right.
she? You know what I'm saying? When she turned and everything. But like, my goodness. I love them all. I even love, I hated that clams dude with the dropping
Oh
the hard
yeah.
N words, but I was
Mhm.
supposed to hate him. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So he
Yeah,
did good too.
exactly.
He was right in his place, and I'm glad he didn't go over the top with a lot of the racism that they could have. This is Mississippi in the 1930s, boy. I mean,
Mhm.
bro, you know what I'm saying? Every other word
It could
was
have
the N
been.
word.
Yeah,
You
it
know
could
what I'm
have been
saying? Coming
crazy.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
could have been a little more harsh, but I felt like I felt like I was right there. You're absolutely right. Sometimes, I mean, they do expose that this guy Hogwood at the end is pretty much a cleanse. I mean, he brings a clan there to destroy to burn the
Hmm.
joint or whatever. Remember, he's like grand open and grand close.
Yep,
So,
yep. Grand opening, grand closing. That's Jay-Z. I like he put that in there too.
yep, their intentions were there from the get go. But I thought it was very interesting to show this town that was a little multicultural. I also saw white people
Hmm.
shopping at these stores alongside black people, so that was kind of
Hmm.
confusing. Did you notice when they walked into, I think it was called Cho's or whatever, or the Cho's
Hmm.
Market or whatever? Um, there was a white woman walking out as there was other
Hmm.
black people shopping, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you get this perception that everybody hated
Hmm.
each other. Yet when it comes to common
Hmm.
things like getting groceries, you have to learn to live alongside each other. So that's
Yeah,
that's kind of
yeah.
the questions that, or the mental gymnastics that I do when I'm watching a movie like this,
Good eye.
like a period piece and stuff like that. Because there was definitely white people that live in the area. It's just that
Hmm.
their stature was different. They were at a different, I guess, just obviously economic social status than black people. Um,
Hmm.
and most likely on plantations too. It was Mississippi, right?
Hmm.
So it
Oof,
just
yeah.
shows you that they think that they're better, yet they still have to get groceries. And this is the only
Hmm.
town that has groceries, and it's like
Hmm.
I don't know. It kind of fucked me up a little bit. Like, it just kind of shows you a time difference that we're in. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Good eye, bro. I didn't even peep that out. Now I'm gonna be looking
You
for that
gotta
when I
peep
watch
it,
it
bro. You
later.
gotta peep
Yeah,
everything. You
yeah,
gotta
yeah,
check
yeah.
everything nowadays.
Yeah.
Um,
The South. Yeah, South was.
but
I lived in the South in Tennessee, Middle
oh, did you?
Tennessee. Matter of fact, yeah, and that this is around the '90s, and it was still you still had that Jim Crow type feeling down there. You know what I'm saying? As I
Yeah.
moved down there, things sort of started to change, and people started to melt together. But like, boy, like in school, all the black people sat with the black people, the white people sat over here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Until I
Wow.
started going over there. I'm from I'm from Mexican town, Detroit. So and when everybody the same color, that was poor. So like
Yeah.
we didn't see race like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it was real like that. It was real, but like you said, like when we had to go to the Piggly Wiggly, and it was literally called the Piggly Wiggly. That's where we got our groceries at, and everybody Just, had to get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it was. That's the only place.
It's like we can shop together, but we can definitely not party together. We don't go to the same bars.
Right.
We don't go to none of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. None of that.
So
No, 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 no. White only. You know what I'm saying? Well, black
oh,
only,
for
I
sure.
think, and white only. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yep, yep.
Yeah. Which is funny because they let Mary in because didn't she say she was half black or something?
Something like that. Yeah, or something like that. And plus, she had
Yeah.
history with smoke, right? Or
She gets a
stack.
pass.
Yeah.
She gets a pass, I think.
She get a pass. Yep. She get her black card.
Yeah. I think in actuality, I was looking it up, or it came up on her Wikipedia or something like that. I think she is I don't know if she's Hispanic or I was gonna because she doesn't look full white to me. She doesn't look full white. She might look like a little more Italian or something like that. Look at the first
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
The
Look.
first thing it says, "What is Haley Steinfeld's ethnicity?" That is so fucking funny. That people are searching this. They're like, well, we need to know. All right, so it says her father is Jewish and her mother is African American. There we go. So
Oh, really?
there it is, bro. What a
I
trip.
didn't know.
Her mother is actually her mother is very multicultural. African American, English, Filipino, Irish, Scottish, and German. God dang, mama, what the hell?
Damn. Oh, this
Well,
one. Jail.
great nations all came together to form your
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, to make a beautiful Steinfeld, a Haley Steinfeld.
I will not
She was
disagree to
pretty.
that. Yeah, I will
Yeah,
not
yeah.
disagree to that. So
I like.
I wanted to talk
I
to
like
you
the
because
TVA, the 82, the black lady, the other one that was I think Smoke
oh,
was involved with. Yeah, she
oh
in the
wait,
Loki series. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's a
which
great actress. She was
oh
tablet a heavier set woman.
yes.
The black woman.
I thought you were talking about Perline, the girl that
Coraline.
gets with Sammy.
Oh no, I liked her too. She only had a little part, but I liked her too. Like it was a lot of sexiness in this movie. This is a sexy
Was a
little
lot.
movie.
Yes.
Yeah, I liked
A lot
it.
of tongue, action going on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I believe
She's
her name
great, though.
was Annie. She was great. She was great because
That's
she
another one
was
that's great.
yeah. Her acting was phenomenal. I didn't. You said she's in a Marvel show?
Yeah, she was in a Marvel. She played part of the TVA or whatever that protects the timelines and stuff like that. She was in
Oh, was it
Lovecraft
Loki?
Country?
Loki show or something?
Yeah, I think it was Loki or whatever.
Oh, is
Yep.
she in Lovecraft Country? Because I saw
I
that.
think so. Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yep, I believe so. She's been in a couple things. She's always great when she's in wherever she's in. But like that's once again like no one did a bad job at acting at all. Everybody came, with guns loaded. You know what I'm saying in the acting
You're
department.
absolutely right.
Delroy Lemroy, like again, bro. Like dang, bro.
Wunmi Mosaku. She
There it
played,
was. Yeah.
she played Ruby in Lovecraft Country, all 10 episodes or 10 episodes. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was such a good show. I really liked that one. I also mentioned too, speaking of a Lovecraft Country, that I kept battling in my mind because ever since Creed 3 came out, I was like, who is the better actor? Is it Jonathan Majors or is it Michael B. Jordan? And I was dead set on Michael B. Jordan. I'm sorry, on Jonathan Majors being the better actor at that time. Now that I saw this, I'm like, you know what, Michael B. Jordan, man. I'm not saying he's
Michael B.
better,
Jordan?
but he's like they're on the same caliber now at this level.
They're
to
definitely
me.
the same caliber. Definitely same caliber. Good one.
What do you think if you had to choose?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be honest. I think Majors has maybe a little bit point
Edge.
up against Michael B. Jordan. I'm saying that because that magazine Dreams, jeez, bro.
Knew you were gonna say that.
His
Yeah, I haven't
awkward-
seen it.
yeah, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
But
you haven't seen Magazine Dreams? Oh, I think it's
Oh,
on.
man.
Yeah, I think it's out now on streaming. Yeah, so you probably
I
can-
definitely watch that. This
Yeah,
week.
yep.
Probably
Check it
tonight.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, that's the best performance of his life, of his career in Magazine Dreams. He definitely deserves an Oscar for that. He was the way he's awkward, you know what I'm saying, and then how he's he's roiding out because he's on all those drugs and shit. It's a performance of a lifetime. Michael B. Jordan's was good though. Don't get me wrong. Smoke and Stack was fire, but I give the edge a little bit to Majors, just a little bit. I love them both. Don't come after me. I really love them both, but like, just a little bit. Just a little
Now,
bit.
so the overall story, I think we both like in this movie, like the characters. Now, what did you think about the action and the gore went along with it, especially in that third act?
Yeah, like once the chaos started going down, it wasn't as it wasn't as striking as Dust Till Dawn. You know what I'm saying? Like with Dust Till Dawn, it's just it's shit flying everywhere. It's bloods. It's people playing the guitars. I know it's ridiculous, but
A lot of people,
this
real quick. A lot of people were
yeah.
comparing this to Dust Till Dawn, just
Mhm,
because the beginning of Dust Till Dawn is like a
mhm,
crime movie, right? It starts off as
yeah.
one part of the movie, and then when you get to the bar or whatever, it turns into a full on vampire movie.
Mhm,
I saw this movie as like a slow progression with a little bit of vampires thrown in there. You don't even know about vampires in From Dusk Till
mhm.
Dawn until fucking Salma Hayek turns
Them
or
high.
whatever happens. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Until you start seeing some craziness going on, and then it's a complete shift. I think this Sinners kind of had a gradual build, especially since we see some of
Mhm,
the remic like right at the beginning,
mhm,
as like burning and stuff like that. I think we
mhm,
start to figure out along the way. It's like it's totally a slow burn, this movie, but
mhm.
it's such a great payoff. So I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you
Yes.
off, but yeah.
No. You make a great point. Yeah, Dust Till Dawn was a old switcheroo. I don't feel this movie was like a old switcheroo story ties and shit. I think it's all one story. You know what I'm saying? If you look at it, like we talk about the banjo player, how he's conjuring the, you know what I'm saying, the vampires maybe to that space. You know what I'm saying? This whole thing, and like I said, the whole juke joint thing is interesting with these gangsters itself, but then you throw that twist on there. But like I think it was there all along. So don't quite see the Dust Till Dawn. I can see people compare it to that because it kind of abruptly turns into this chaos scene. And then what I will say about this chaos scene, I liked it a lot. I did want it to be more gorier though. That's just me. Like I said in my review, just me being a selfish horror guy. Yo, I want to see some fucking substance shit. I want to see blood squirting out, you know what I'm saying? Maybe people emboweled. Maybe I wanted a little bit more gore, but it was bloody enough, you know, for a rated R rating. It was like right on that rated R tip. Nothing that really warranted a rated R, in my opinion. Like it was just anything that was like rated R. Oh, that shit's, yeah, that's rated R, rated R.
I think rated R might have been more for the language, if I'm being completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's probably why that got a rated R rating.
Yeah, I can see that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but no, I know what you mean because some of the blood, I had mentioned this in my review too, is that when they got stabbed with the stake, especially Annie's character, remember when
Mm-hmm.
she says, "Promise me like if I turn," which I think is amazing because you always sometimes hear that in horror movies, like if I turn or if I get bit by a zombie or something, please tell me you're gonna kill me, right? And it's always the
Right, right.
hardest decision because it's always a
Yeah.
loved one,
Yeah.
and he does it amidst all this chaos around him. He does it, and when he does it, it's like it comes out like not realistically, but not over the top. But I felt like kind of
Mm-hmm.
like remember like those Shogun Assassin movies or whatever, like the 13
Mm-hmm.
Samurais or whatever the fuck. Like you cut someone's arm off and it's like squirting like Kill Bill, like quick Kill
Yeah.
Bill blood. It was like
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like
Mm-hmm.
came out like that a little bit. I'm like, oh shit. I feel like he did that just for the horror fans because he didn't want to make
Mhm.
it too over the top, but he also wanted to
Yeah.
make it for like audience goers that aren't necessarily into horror. But
Yeah.
he probably
Yeah. I
wanted
feel
to
you.
yeah, he probably wanted to appease to the whole
Balance.
audience. Yeah, the
Mhm.
good. I think it was a good little balance because that third. When I'm talking about the third act, I'm talking about just when the vampires enter the Jute Club finally. Because
Mhm.
as we know, the whole rules. I didn't even say it on my spoiler review because I didn't want to. I mean, on my regular review because I don't want to spoil it in case people
Mhm.
didn't know the rules of the vampires. Is that you have to let them in. They can't just
Mhm.
come in. You have to let them in. That's
Mhm.
shown in movies like well, From Dusk Till
Everything.
Dawn. It's not shown because they're already in the place, right? But
Yeah.
movies
Fright Night.
like Fright Night, also movies like Demon Night.
Mhm.
Remember Billy Zane? You have to let him in, type of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think they even put like a potion or something around the door in Demon Night, something like that.
Mhm. Yep. You're right. Yeah. They have to
So,
have to be invited in. That's number one. And I like they
the one.
didn't explain it to the audience like they were stupid. They just kind of did it. So
Well, it's
yeah. So
because
you gotta.
they explained it because the characters were very barely finding out. Annie was like, "Why can't you just why can't you just come in? Why you could just bulldoze over all these guys? Why can't you just come in?" He's like, "Oh, because you got
Mhm.
to be let in." Like they start to figure it
Mhm.
out, and I
Mhm.
knew it. I knew it because I
Oh,
know
we knew it.
vampires.
Yeah.
We knew it. But but
Yeah.
an audience member that doesn't know anything the rules about vampires, I think it was a good explanation or a good kind of slow burn once
Yeah.
again. Also, too, I
Absolutely.
was wondering, I was like, how are they gonna play it? Are they gonna do all the rules on how to kill a vampire with like garlic and
Oh, holy
you know
water.
the cross? Like I didn't see any crosses. Did you know? Did you see that at all? By the way,
No, no crosses. No crosses in the juke joint at all.
yeah, because
Maybe.
going back to I hate to keep going back to Dust Till Dawn because that's at this point that's not a good quality movie. I know it was like the '90s, but um,
Oh, it's great.
even in that movie, they're making crosses. Remember, they're holding them like this in front of, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the vampire's like, "Ah,"
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
no
yeah.
one did that. I don't think I saw one person hold up a crucifix or even
Nope.
anything in the shape of a crucifix. And you would think so because this movie is very religious.
Yeah, yeah. You make a great point there. Yeah, no, no crucifixes and battling vampires in this movie at all. No, 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 no.
Yeah,
You're right. Just good old sunlight and stakes to the heart, right?
sunlight, stakes to
Yeah.
the heart. Yeah,
The
just
bullets
they
weren't
get
doing shit.
shot. They got shot a shit ton of times.
Yeah,
Which just
they just
slowed
pop
them
right
down.
up.
Yeah, just slowed them down.
Hmm.
Also interesting. I was trying to figure out. So when they kill Annie, when he kills Annie, Michael B. Jordan's character. I don't want to keep guessing which one because I forgot. I forget which one's Smoke or Stack or whatever.
Stack is blue. Stack is always blue. Smoke is red.
Was,
That
was he
might
the
help.
was he the one that killed Annie, or was he with Annie? Or I
Uh,
forgot. I forgot which.
yeah, yeah, well, yeah, yeah, yeah. She Annie turned Stack, right? She had bit him, and then
No, no,
Smoke
no.
came
That's
in and
Mary.
shot her.
That's Mary. That's Haley
Oh,
Steinfeld,
Mary. Damn, who am I thinking about?
the black one.
Um, oh, Annie. Yeah, yeah. She was with Smoke.
I believe
Yep,
that's what her
yep,
name is, right? Annie.
yep, yeah. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Um.
Yep.
So, yeah. As soon as she gets as soon as Michael B. Jordan's character stabs her, um,
Mm-hmm.
Haley Steinfeld and Haley Steinfeld, they fucking run out the door. They run.
Mm-hmm. They run
She
full
run.
speed.
She runs out the door. With Michael B. Jordan. Um, that's like the last time that we see her. That is the last time that we see her. And I didn't even think about
Mm-hmm.
it because I always thought, I don't know why I thought this. Is this part of vampire lore that if you kill the main vampire, the rest of them die?
That has been that has been explored before, right? In
I
that
think
Fright
so.
Night, you know what I'm saying? Like Fright Night was the main vampire. In order to save the girl, they had to kill Jerry Danvers, the main vampire. And once they killed him, Amy
Right.
came back to life. Remember? And then
Yeah.
it's just it's a couple other movies like that. You kill the main vampire. The rest of them are fine too. I just watched one. I can't think of it right now, but
And
it's in tons of them.
that doesn't happen in this movie, though it looks like it happens in the movie because
Hmm.
it's because the sunrise. The sunrise is what kills them, not killing the main vampire. Because they do kill the main
Hmm.
vampire, but it's mainly because the sun. I mean, they hit him with the. He hits him with the guitar in the head, which ends up like there's like a metal piece in the guitar, which ends up sticking into Remic's head. But that's not what
Hmm.
kills him. The sun is already. That's kind of just stops him, right? The
Hmm.
sunrise is what kills him, and then all of his minions that follow are what gets burned up.
Mm. Yeah, you're right.
At this point, I believe Haley Steinfeld. Well, at this point, Haley Steinfeld is gone. She ran away into the darkness, so she seeked shelter, right? And then we
Mm.
find out that you're gonna have to help me out. I'm sorry. Which one becomes a vampire? The brother.
That's Stack.
Stack.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We find out that he ends up letting Stack go. And says,
Yeah.
I never
They
want to
didn't
see
show
you
that.
again. I'm like, motherfucker, that's not how the rules go. That's not how that's not how he can come back whenever he wants now.
Yeah.
You could kill your girl, but you can't kill your brother. Okay, I get it.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah,
Um,
because he can just come in there, right? He's been invited, so he can just bust up in. Well, the shack was gone anyway, but like he, but he can just come back. He know where his brother at. You know.
oh yeah.
You make a great point. Great
Yeah,
point.
so
there.
it's
So-
interesting. But I didn't think that this movie had enough plot holes to like question.
No. I was thinking about. You told me that Haley Steinfeld ran into the woods too. Did she
She
not
she
die
did.
too, technically?
What's that?
Or am I forgetting something? How did Haley Steinfeld character die?
She didn't
Exactly.
die. She ends up
Oh,
living with.
that's what
Remember,
you're
we see her in 1992 in that post credit scene.
That's right. Shit, what am I talking about? Yeah, that's right. Oh
you're
man.
good, you're
Yeah,
good.
yeah. You
Remember,
good.
she's
Yeah.
sucking on that
Yup.
lollipop.
Yeah. She looked totally different though. I was like,
Hey,
okay.
sitting at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop. Come on,
yep.
LL.
Yeah, you're right. She looked totally different in that scene, bro. But now I see the Steinfeld.
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
Man, and Michael B. Jordan came in with that fucking Biggie
That Coogi
Smalls
sweater. Yeah.
Coogee sweater, bro. Come
With the
on.
Tupac boy,
With the
the juice
bishop.
haircut, the bishop.
Yep.
I loved it. I'm like, oh, that's spot. Yeah, that's culture accurate right there, bro.
Oh yeah.
he was
I love that.
fly.
I knew
He was
exactly when he
fly,
came in
bro.
with that Coogee sweater. I was like, damn.
Damn.
Oh, also he had the knuckle rings. It said Stacks.
Did it?
Did you see
Oh
that?
shit! I gotta go see it again.
Wait,
Yes,
when you
yes,
see
no,
it again,
no.
look at the rings. Look at the rings.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Now I'm hyped.
Crazy.
We got our first hip hop vampire. Let's go. I put a label on it. I'm sorry. You can't just be a vampire. He gonna be the hip hop vampire. No, I'm just,
Hey, that's gonna be the prequel to Vampire in Brooklyn, man. That's gonna be the prequel. I think they were in New York, so.
yeah. Vampire in Brooklyn. Yes,
Oh,
sir.
man. But I really love this movie through and through.
Me too, man.
God,
You buying it on Blu-ray? You buying it on 4K?
I'm buying on 4K for
I'm
sure.
going on 4K, boy. I can't
Yes.
wait till this come out on 4K. Throwing
Yes.
on that OLED. It ain't gonna match that IMAX. And how's your experience watching it in IMAX, bro? Just you know.
Yeah. So I did in your review. You mentioned how the aspect ratio changed. I didn't even notice any of that. I mean, I couldn't really. I was sitting kind of in the middle of the theater, but a little closer, like a row closer. I'm like, man, I should have picked a couple seats back, but I didn't notice the aspect change. But it was so fluid that it was very natural to me.
Yeah, it was very subtle, but like I seen it in some of the wide shots. What shot? I forgot exactly what scene.
Probably when they're
it
driving,
was
like
when I
through the
very
cotton
yeah,
field.
Yeah,
You can see that very wide
those
scope.
scenes. Yeah, just wide scope, see all the cotton and all that. It was gorgeous. That's why I said I put that shit up. You know, I watch 70 millimeter. Every time Nolan drop a 70 millimeter, I gotta find somewhere to see it. Even though we don't have the super IMAX right now like we used to, but if it's in IMAX, I'm gonna check it out. I think Coogler is getting up there to that stature with Nolan. For real.
Yeah.
I think Jordan Peele too. Because say what you want about Nope, those beautiful landscapes out there we all
Nope
in California.
Amazing.
Like, Jesus.
I will say this.
Gorgeous.
Nope is my least favorite. I'm sorry, not least favorite, but it's well, I don't know. Gun to my head, I don't know. It might be the least favorite, just because I love Us so much, and a lot of people don't talk about that one. And obviously, Get Out for me is like probably my favorite one. Get Out.
Yeah, come on. That's everyone's. Yeah.
Nope is visually probably the best looking one because of the IMAX, because of the scope of everything. And it's just desert. Like I live where I live like not too far where they filmed Nope. So I know that whole area. But even in the dark settings, you can see everything because of the quality of that camera they were using. You know, in the IMAX scope. You can see the shadows when he goes outside and he looks up and he sees like the fucking UFO moving for the first time. Remember when Mike what's his name? Kalula? Is it
Daniel Kaluuya.
Daniel Kaluuya.
Yeah, Daniel Kaluuya. Yeah.
He's looking up in the sky and he sees a fucking UFO move. That scene is so dark but you could still see it. Like you can
see
still
it clear,
see
clear as day.
Yeah. And I'm like, that it was crazy because it is the desert and you do kind of want a wide scope to show how vast and nobody's out there.
Yes.
I will say this might be a hot take. If people cannot see this movie in IMAX, I think it's fine watching at home because there's a lot of just talking and introduction of characters, and you don't necessarily need a fucking IMAX to see Delroy Lindo's face, right? I mean, it's just him talking. So, that's fine. But like you said, there are a few shots where they show like the cotton fields, or like they show I'm trying to think of other even like that final scene when they're in the river and the sun's coming up and stuff like that. Yeah, the fire tunnel or whatever, or tornado. Shots like that look great. They looked really, really good in IMAX. And the sound was fantastic too. The sound was
that's what I was saying, bro.
My
sound was fantastic.
My theater was so fucking loud, bro. Those jump scares, some of the jump scares that happened, I was like, damn.
Some of them got me, bro. So I'll turn my head in, a jump scare happens, like, fuck, shit. These IMAX speakers, they're like, I can handle that in a regular movie theater, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit. But IMAX, like, it's like, shit, bro. This sounds on point, though. Yeah, I like the IMAX. Yeah.
Such a fun experience. And I know I can't really say this is my favorite movie of 2025 because I haven't seen all 2025 movies, or I'm barely going back to the theaters, but I've had even people that go to the theaters weekly like you, and they've said this is my favorite movie of 2025 so far.
Easy. It's
Is that what
easy.
you're saying too?
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. It's
Oh,
this and Magazine Dreams is my two favorite movies of 2025 so far. And
okay.
they're two polarly different opposite movies, but Sinners hand down from the visuals to because Magazine Dreams, Jonathan Majors handles all the heavy lifting. Everybody plays his own deck in Sinners, including Ryan Coogler, and all the actors are like bravo. I believe all of
Yeah,
y'all. You know what I'm saying? So like,
absolutely.
yeah. That's why it's my favorite. And then the music aspect of it was very unique, and it being a unique IP, original idea, and it's just it's well done.
Agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
very courageous to go from superhero and boxing movies. Like even the boxing movies were like on a larger scope. Like it was more than just a
Mhm.
boxing movie, obviously, or more than just
Mhm.
a Rocky movie. So,
Mhm.
and then superhero movies, of course, is like the largest scope, right? So to tackle a horror movie, which can go, this could have been went very sideways. It really
Mhm.
could have because this is his first time dipping his toe pretty much in horror, as far as I know.
Right. Yeah, yeah. He's a big horror fan. I didn't know that. Yeah, Cougar was a big horror fan. I didn't know that. Yeah. So like
Do you
even
know
like
the
that scene. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
real quick? Did you know the inspiration for this movie?
The inspiration for this movie, I thought it was about like I heard something about his uncle. He was shooting Black Panther and he passed away and he couldn't be there for him. So his uncle was into blues, so he wanted to kind of pay homage to him. I heard that
That
type
might have
story.
been part of it, but there was a movie inspiration for this. He
Oh
saw a
yeah,
movie.
I know what you're talking about.
What?
For the vampire, was that Wolf? What was it? Who played Death? And what's that movie?
Puss in Boots too.
Puss in Boots. Yeah.
I haven't seen Puss in Boots 2. I saw the first one, which I actually really liked it, but
Mhm.
I was like, that is fucking funny to go from to thinking of an animated film like that to complete, Sinners, like what we just saw.
Mhm.
But I,
Yeah, it's just crazy.
it's funny.
Yeah, it's just. And,
But
and I want to add this real quick note too. This movie could have, with that dancing scene, that could have threw the whole movie off if it wasn't done correctly. You know what I'm saying? Like people would have, I think people would have gave it, shit for it. But even I understanding at first, I appreciate it and it was very, very well done. So like somebody like Ryan Coogler can do that. You know what I'm saying, and make it work.
yeah,
Hmm.
100% agree. Yeah, so we didn't talk too much on the post-credit scene, a little bit. Do you want to kind of
Hmm.
dive into that and your thoughts on I mean, there's two post-credit scenes. The first one is obviously like
Hmm.
the first one is like the continuation of like the ending of the movie.
That's the
That's like
end
the
of the movie.
real
Yeah.
that's the fucking end of the movie. I don't even know why they would make it a post-credit scene. It should have just been tacked
Yeah.
on and said like
Yeah.
50 years later or
Hmm.
some shit like that or whatever it was,
Yeah.
60 years
That
later.
was part of the movie.
Yeah, that was
That's
certainly
why I
part of the
said
movie.
people watching this do not get up and leave
Oh,
because you know what I'm saying, you might think of your score as this until you see, that post credit scene. And it was long too. It was like 5 minutes long, wasn't it?
yeah,
It was
absolutely.
like, yeah, it was long. I enjoyed it too. And then like we get, like we, so let's talk about the post credit scene since we're
Yeah.
spoiling now. Like, yeah, I guess it's like, yeah, 50 years later or so. And my man Sammy, who survived this ordeal with the vampires, he's sitting at a bar with scratches on his face, and in walks in Stack with, of course, with the dope ass koozie sweater and the bishop haircut, and
Mhm.
with I'm saying Haley Steinfeld, and they have a little conversation about it. I don't remember all the conversation that they were talking about. That's why I want to go see it again. But it was a real good scene. I thought he was like, is he gonna kill him here? But he didn't. He didn't want to kill him. He wanted kind of him to join him. I think. But that was a good surprise because we didn't really never see Stack die on camera. So to see him come back in a post-credit scene or the actual ending of the movie, which I thought, because I thought the movie ended like, oh man, well, 2 hours went by that quick, bro. I need a little bit more. So I was satisfied, you know what I'm saying, with that dessert post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Do you remember what they were talking about a lot?
So they were talking about something, the effects of why he let him survive. I forgot what
Mm.
it was, why he let him survive. Also we didn't even talk about before the post credit scene. I just want to shimmy this in, is that when Sammy comes back to the church, he ends up choosing the guitar over uh I don't know if his dad was trying to just save him or what,
Hmm.
but he ends up leaving the town in the car with the guitar. Remember that?
Is
Which
that the
if
one
he
that's broke guitar or the
yeah,
full?
yeah, because
Yep.
he rebuilds it. He basically has it rebuilt. So
That's right.
if he didn't make that move, he would still be he would just be in that town. You know what I mean? And I think
Hmm.
he took a chance and he was like, you know what, I have these gifts. I'm not gonna squander it. I'm gonna show it to the world, you know, show it, so to speak.
Hmm.
And I really like that. I really do like that.
Hmm.
It was a cool choice because he had a fork. He had a fork in the road. You know what it reminded me of? Did you ever see the Coen Brothers movie? Oh brother, where art thou?
Yeah. Yep. Good. I know
There's
where you're going. Nice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I thought about the whole time. The blues singer that said that he came to a fork in the road and he met a man who was presumably the devil, and he
Hmm.
said, "I will make you the best blues singer of all time if you sell me your soul." And he does
So,
it.
yep.
And he
Hmm.
does it. And he is an exceptional player and famous and yada yada. So that's kind of the whole metaphor of like choosing fame over not being famous, right? You never know
Hmm.
which path you're going to go, and he ended up choosing the one where he felt best suited for his life. And I
Hmm.
really liked seeing that. I think there's so many underlying messages in this movie. It's not just about
Hmm.
racism or segregation or
Hmm.
vampires. Or there's fucking way more
Yeah.
than
Yeah. It's a lot
surface
of
level.
allegory.
Yeah,
Hmm.
than surface level, and I liked it. I really did enjoy it, but yeah, that post credit scene, I don't remember what he told him verbatim, but I think he
Yeah.
said that like if you're ready, like I can. Oh, he said, it goes, "If you want to be playing blues music forever, I can make that happen."
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like, do you want to be 80 years old like a vampire, like forever playing? I don't think
Yeah.
maybe
200.
if you would have bit me when I was like 30 years old, like yeah, maybe like, like I'm good with that, like.
Yeah, look how you look. Look at you. Look at me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly,
You fly with a
exactly.
Coogee sweater in 1930. You was fly too.
You got Haley
I'm out
Steinfeld
of
right
here.
here on your shoulder.
Yeah,
Come on,
Haley
bro.
Steinfeld. Come on, bro.
He's
I'm
like, what
out of
kind of
here.
girls am I gonna pull? What kind of girls?
That's right. That's right. Yeah, he did say that. If you want to, I can make that happen. I was just so happy seeing Stack come back in the scene. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot what they were talking about. So that's why I gotta go see it one more time. Good. And I do think this movie warrants a second viewing for sure. Even if you watch it at home again, I definitely wanna watch it again. Yeah.
I'm gonna try to
Hmm.
watch it again in IMAX. If not, I will definitely be picking up the physical.
Hmm.
Obviously,
Me too.
the digital will be coming out first, so I might
Hmm.
be watching it again on the digital, but I will own it for sure because I want to just support the movie. I want to support all the actors and director
That's what that.
involved.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
it
what I
was
wanted to say too. Go support this movie because this is a real movie. We always complain like, oh, it's too many Marvel movies. I can't keep up, and this is a remake of that, or another video game movie. This is an original IP shot on IMAX 70 millimeter. Go support that shit because it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say. You know what I'm
so
saying? This
that.
is what we.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is what it's all about is supporting movies that you guys are interested in and liking. And the only way you can support is either going to the theater or buying physical, which a lot of people don't do, obviously, but that's
Mhm.
just at least go to the theater. Um,
For this
so we
one. Yeah.
talked about, well, I think we talked about this offline, but on camera, this movie had a budget of about $90 billion, which I thought was great for
Hmm.
being shot in IMAX. I always thought that if like you're using more expensive computers or I mean, more expensive technology, I should say, it's going to be higher, but not much. There was a little bit of CGI used for the most
Hmm.
part, like probably some of the fire scenes or burning scenes. Which, oh my
Hmm.
god, we didn't even talk about that lady Cho. Like, let him in, and then she just goes full
Hmm.
fledged and gets lit on fire while she's stabbing a
Yeah.
zombie, a fucking vampire. And I'm like,
Vampire.
God
Yeah.
damn, what the fuck, Cho? Like,
Yeah. Yeah. It was nuts, bro. It was
she was
nuts.
she was going all out. Because in the
Loved
back of
it.
her mind, her husband was already dead, and they thought that they were gonna kill her daughter, which they would have for
Hmm.
sure. They would have fucking totally done that. I think if they
Hmm.
didn't let him in, they would have went for the families.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah, absolutely.
uh, this movie
Crazy.
is projected to do about 45 million this weekend. Do you see that happening?
Yes. I know offline I said 60. I don't think it'll quite reach that. I think it'll reach, if it doesn't reach 50, it's going to be close to 50. I think the word of
I
mouth
think
of
closer
this
to
movie
50
is
as
just
well.
too, yeah, the word of mouth is just too incredible. You know what I'm saying? Every person I haven't heard a person, we live on the in this YouTube Geist and this movie Geist, but I haven't heard a person give this a bad review. I have not heard one. I know it was a Rotten Tomatoes at 100. It had to be like a couple guys that brought it down to like a 98% or something like that.
It's around
But
high, yeah, like 90, 98.
yeah, yeah, but like and then word of mouth is killing. I'm just seeing people even on my Facebook or my Instagram live who don't go see movies like that. Go see Sinners. You know what I'm saying? Is that dope? Like, y'all even watch the movies, huh? You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, people are talking about it, so that's good. I don't think it have like the impact like Black Panther have. That was a whole cultural impact on. I ain't never seen nothing like that. People dressing up in dashikis and
Yeah.
shit going to the
Oh,
movies.
I was there day one and I
Everybody.
saw that. I did see people
Hmm.
that was supporting. So let's get into actually what you were just speaking of some of the races that came out to theaters. So 49% was the highest majority black people supporting this movie. Um, Caucasians at 27%, and
Oh wow.
Hispanics and Latinos 14%. I'm gonna hey, I'm a Hispanic.
Hey.
Hispanics, go out, please. Latinos,
Yeah.
go see this fucking movie. Go see this movie. You're not in the
Yeah.
movie, but go see it. It's all right.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Go support. And Asians at 6%. So
Okay.
you know, it's very, very interesting. But for the most part, people gave this a score of over 90% A plus, which is it's doing very well. And once again, even though it's more than just a horror movie, it's still kind of categorized as a horror movie. And I think that's what kind
Mhm.
of pulls people away of like, oh, this is vampires. Nah, I'm gonna pass up on it.
Uh-uh. Yep, yep,
Don't.
yep,
It's
yep.
much
Yeah,
more than
that's right.
that. The social commentary alone is great.
Mhm.
I hope everybody
Mhm.
sees it. But like I said, it's still categorized as horror, and I know that that's not gonna make crazy numbers. Like even when
Yeah,
movies like
especially on Easter, like we were talking
oh
about
yeah,
Easter weekend.
for sure.
Like,
Even when movies like Megan and all these like TikTok zeitgeist phenomenons happen, they don't make like $1 billion. They don't do that.
mm-mm.
So
No, 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 no. Yeah, you're lucky. Shoot, like, what's a horror movie that made a billion? The closest thing is like what, Joker or something? You know what I'm saying?
that's not
And
even a
that's
horror
not really
movie.
a horror. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like a rated R. Yeah, like a rated R movie.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think that's like the one. I don't think we
That's a
got a
good
billion-dollar
question.
horror
What's a
movie. Yeah, I don't think we
what's
have one.
oh shit it
Oh, it. Yeah,
2017 that made
that's
and
about
that
what,
made
800?
700,000.
700. Yeah, 700 million.
No, 700. 700 million. Yeah,
That
yeah,
should be a
700
flop,
million.
son. That'd be Will
704
Smith.
million. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So I
before
see Sinners
yeah.
having legs though. Yeah, I see Sinners having legs though. Yeah.
That's interesting because it took 18 years to make that a horror movie to make that much money. Before that, it was 1999's Sixth Sense. God,
Oh wow. Wow. Wow.
that was
What's Sixth Sense make?
672 million.
Oh, 672. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, man,
I see
that's
this
what I'm
movie
telling you,
making
man.
its budget back. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah,
Overall,
yeah,
we
for
got to see
sure.
those worldwide numbers. You got to see the worldwide
Mm-hmm.
numbers. I think it'll double with the worldwide numbers, if I'm being honest. So it'll be closer
Mm-hmm.
to 80 by the end of the weekend, hopefully, or whenever we get those
Mm-hmm.
numbers for worldwide.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I like to see.
happy with what I saw. I think you gave it a 4.5, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I didn't understand that one part that I love now. That I have to go see
Yeah.
again. And then I thought I wanted the main vampire to be just a little bit more vicious, just a little bit. And this is just nitpicking shit. You know what I'm saying? Overall, the movie is phenomenal. It's pretty much it's a five.
Yeah. I think he was
You
just trying to
know?
be a little more clever and trick him. He's like the trickster.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. He was a trickster. That made him unique too than other vampires, instead of just 20 days a night in it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All
I
right,
like
though. There
that
it is. I
too.
think we've said all that we can say. And I gave it a 5 out of 5, by the way, in case you guys didn't see my
Oh,
review.
nice.
I did give it a 5 out of
Oh,
5.
I got a quick question. I
Yes,
do got
sir.
a quick question before we go. What do you think about the trailers spoiling this film? Because there's a lot now we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm,
show Haley
yeah.
Steinfeld as a vampire. They show Stack as a vampire. They show Cornbread as a vampire.
Yeah.
They
I,
spoiled a lot.
I did well, I knew that eventually that all these characters I saw turned to vampires were gonna be vampires. It still
Mm-hmm.
didn't suck me out because
Me either.
I thought this movie was gonna go full fledged, like in the like majority of it, vampires. But I think
Mm-hmm.
this movie tricks you into it being a vampire movie only. And you go into
Mm-hmm.
it and 2/3 of it is not. It's literally about Jim Crow era in the 30s,
Mm-hmm.
with these two brothers, and it's nice world building. So it didn't really suck me out too much, even though I knew. Because once I started to see people walk away from the juke bar or whatever, I'm like, that guy's gonna be a vampire. That guy's gonna be a vampire. This person's not, or whatever. I didn't mind it too much. I do think they should have kept a lot of the main
Mhm.
big stars like Haley Steinfeld from being a vampire out of the fucking trailer.
Yeah,
They even kind of
maybe the
allude to
brother.
the brother getting bit. Like,
Oh, they show him like, I don't
oh,
remember the second
I,
trailer. They show
I
him
only
like, let me on out of here.
oh no, I
Boom,
only saw the
boom,
first
boom,
trailer. I
boom.
only saw the first
Oh,
trailer.
yeah. The
Yeah, yeah.
second trailer spoil everything, bro. They show Cornbread as a vampire. They show Stack as a vampire, banging his head on the door
That's
like he was. I was like,
yeah.
yo,
No, they could have got better with that, but
yeah. I don't think it's Coogler's fault though. It's the marketing team to sell the movie. Like, how are we gonna sell the movie? We gonna show some vampires in it. I get it, but damn.
yeah, it's true.
Spoil it.
It's
Hmm.
true. So there it is.
Like,
Yeah, that we went on for a while, man, talking about that. I know we had some
oh
technical
yeah,
difficulties, but it's all right.
oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dope.
So there it is, guys. Thank you so much for checking out our review, spoiler review, and some horror news that we dropped at the beginning of this for Sinners, man. Definitely check it out. It's recommended by both of us, guys. I'm gonna leave all of Q's links down in the description below. I want you guys to follow him and check out all of his movies that he does, or videos that he does have for movies. All right. Anything else you want to say, Q, before we leave? Final thoughts?
Oh yeah. Like I said, I gave it a 4.5. Going to go see it again today. The best movie of 2025 so far, hands down, easily. Man, what a hell of a movie. As far as things I got coming up, I'm probably gonna see Until Dawn next week. The other
I,
horror
I
movie
plan
that
I
comes
plan to
out.
watch that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe get another
We talk about
discussion
that.
going. But man, yeah. But other than that, man, Dave, thank you so much for having me again. It's always a pleasure. We can talk for hours and hours and hours. And so,
Yep.
it's always a pleasure to talk horror with you or any news and things like that. So thank you so much, bro.
Of course, man. Anytime. You're always welcome anytime. All right, guys. I will catch you guys in the next one. Be safe. Hit that big thumbs up. Consider subscribing today. We're gone. Peace.